is up, everyone? Let me just move my face a little bit down. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for coming to this video. I'm hearing myself, so I'm taking off my headphones. The sound sounds much better. I took out the static. So in today's video, I'm going to cover some of the events that is happening this week. This is called forexfactory.com/calendar. This shows you all the upcoming events that will have an influence on the Forex market. And obviously, Fed announcement and CPI or inflation data has quite a significant impact on us at this point. We'll take a look at some of the macro charts, including Bitcoin and the dollar, finding a little bit weakness, interestingly enough, today. Also, I'm going to show you guys the HEX versus BTC chart and all of the altcoins that trade against Bitcoin, and just compare it because I think HEX looks much better than all of the other coins. This is very good market structure or higher lows that we have made in the past, and I'll just show you how good it looks versus the other charts. What I'm trying to find here is just the most recent low. So this was the most recent low after this one. Okay, yeah, so let's jump right into it. So on the calendar, today's Monday. Obviously nothing major happening today, but on Tuesday we have inflation data coming up. The previous inflation data sat at 0.4% or 0.77% inflation. They are forecasting 7.3, so a reduction in the inflation. Remember last time we got an inflation report that was lower than what was forecast, which was pretty bullish for the market, right? So here we've got a nice graph. Inflation actually started taking off in May of 2020. And they had pretty much locked down the world in March, right? And then they reduced the interest rates all the way to zero. So we have the CPI announcement tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. for you guys in America. So we'll see how it plays out. And then Wednesday the 14th, we have the FOMC meeting, the federal funds rate. It currently sits at 4%, right? We're expecting a 50% basis point. That will then put us at an interest rate, a federal funds rate of 4.5, which is a reduction increase. Instead of doing 75 the previous 4 times, it seems like it's pretty locked in right now at a 50 basis point target. So let's quickly look at the CME, the Fed Watch tool, to see what the market is predicting. This is the wrong one. I always pull up the wrong one. Here we go, it's the interest rate product. Interest rate products, CME group. It's just also the wrong one. If I can't find it now, it's alright. So exactly in 2 days and 7 hours, this is it here. Excuse me for the delay. Here we go, 74% chance in the next 2 days. I don't see this coming down lower. If the Fed and Powell said in his speech, it seems like they will be slowing down slightly to 50 basis points. So a 74% chance, which is darn high, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing that. That would be pretty bullish. I don't know if the market has already factored in that basis point reduction, but I do expect a little bit of bullishness out of that news. This is the dollar, right? I'm just going to clean up this chart a little bit. None of these indicators are needed. We have bullish divergences here, which seems like the dollar still wants to go to the upside on the higher time frames, but it is resisting this, or it's actually found support on this 4 cent area. We can see the confluence at these areas. Confluence is just a fancy way of saying there was lots of traffic at this area. We can see it acted as resistance in May of 22 here. It came down a little bit, acted as resistance, finally broke through, and then found support on it again, and then continued higher. We can see that we are battling in this area. We closed a candle 3 weeks ago down there. We are slightly above it now. We want to see it start closing below here for a breakdown, right? And this will mean upside for your risk assets, your stocks, your cryptocurrencies, and all of your other forex exchanges that trade against the dollar, right? So let's cover the HEX or altcoins versus BTC. Now, I, as a swing trader, used to trade exclusively on these charts. I would buy these coins when they were flat on their ground and sell off on a double into BTC when these things doubled against BTC, because we're trading against BTC, you're taking profits against BTC, right? And altcoins, as I always say, is just a leveraged position on Bitcoin, because people in this market want to make more Bitcoin, especially your maxis and the long-term believers in this coin, because after all, Bitcoin has proven itself over 10 years already now, right? So there's just much more confidence in this coin, right? So people like to take profits into Bitcoin and make more Bitcoin during the bear market, right? And then they'll perhaps sit through Bitcoin throughout the bear markets, because after all, Bitcoin does seem to crash the least during the bear markets, even though it is 85%, right? And I've got a tab here, we can pull up more, and we'll just go through all of these coins. Now what you want to see is you want the downtrend to be broken, and you want W's or higher lows on this side of the downtrend, right? So we've got a higher low here. You can see that this low has yet to now been defended, right? And then we've got smaller higher lows after that as well. Now this isn't a valid W yet. You need the highs to be broken, and this will be a clear indication for you that this market is ready to go, and that this is where a Wyckoff trader will take his position, right? Either he gets it when it breaks out, or he can get it when it retests this breakout level. So although it's not ready yet, we have created the first higher lows, and there are a few things you want to look for when taking a long-term investment. Is firstly, you want to look for location, right? Location. You want to know if this is overvalued or undervalued, right? So between the 61.8, this is simply a statistical analysis, right? And the Fibonacci tool just simply shows you that this is 61.8% down from the upside. And this is where you want to be getting investments, right? Not at the top. You want to be getting them when they're down 50 or 61% or 78% here at the 78.6 level, or if you want to get really conservative, the 88.6 level. And you can see how beautifully HEX has respected this 88.6 level, closing all of its candles above this level and even wicking down into it once or twice already. You can just extend this line a little bit for you guys. You can see how beautifully it's been respecting this level, right? So in the future, the 88.6 level for HEX versus BTC seems to be very powerful, right? And there's your log chart for those that are interested in the log chart. It's not really that necessary, as I've been looking at these charts for a long time, right? And I know where value is at. So this is X versus BTC. So let's cover some of the other coins. Excuse that bottle dropping, and just show you guys what the other coins look like, right? So firstly, I'm not endorsing these coins. All of them look terrible versus BTC. And coins really suffer to try and overtake their all-time highs versus Bitcoin in their previous cycle. Very few of them actually do. So waves hasn't even broken the downtrend, right? So we'll just go on to the next one. This is Axis. You can see it recently made a new low, where Hex has already made two higher lows. Although it's in the location, it's still in a downtrend, but hasn't made good market structure on the other side, or its nice little W. It's in the first phase of making a V, but it hasn't made its higher low as of yet. Dogecoin actually looks quite good, as it is in the last phase of its, because this W, you can see the higher low here. This is your nice W, and it has in fact broken out. Now the next thing the traders are looking for is they're looking for the retest, or your investors, your long-term investors, because if you get it down here, you can hold it for the next 3 years until the top of the market, and just sell into Bitcoin and take profits, right? I'm not telling you guys to go do that, as you need to know what you're doing. You need to have your limit orders set, because unfortunately there's not really a place we can trade Hex versus BTC. So this is called Illuvium, shielded very hard by dollar cost average, and they sell a course, so doesn't look good, right? It really doesn't have, hasn't really broken a clear downtrend as of yet. If you have it on the log scale, it just started to create structure on the other side of the downtrend. Omizigo, yeah, you can see new lows, right? So we just quickly go to the others, as it's broken its downtrend, but it's still making new lows. And you can just see how far Hex is along versus this coin. Crow, which is Crypto.com's coin, made recent lows here and a massive wick, and it just continues to go down, right? Now ETC had a little bit of a run when Ethereum moved to proof of stake, because many miners moved over to proof of work and started mining Ethereum Classic instead of the new proof of stake algorithm, as they were pretty much booted off the network, right? So they had to go look for a new home. These weren't higher lows, so you'll probably see this come down a lot more. Algorand, whatever this is, making new lows, right? Shiba Inu, no, this is doesn't trade against Bitcoin. This looks a lot like Hex, as we can see higher lows. There's one there and another one there. It just has to continue to defend these levels. It doesn't look bad. It looks quite a lot like Hex. Gala, whatever this is, continues to make new lows. It is flat down here, and you don't want a coin to make new lows below its launch price. That is very bad, and generally a very negative sign. Sand, this was all the rage during the Web3 shenanigans, right? It has only now created its first low, so it's in the progress of making its first V, right? Now it has to defend this low down here. So Mana, also a Web3 narrative, but this has been around for quite a long time. This actually made a new time high after its first cycle. So, but the Web3 narrative was quite strong this time, right? but still hasn't really created its low yet. It hasn't shown us its first V as of yet, and it's still continuing to make new lower lows, right? Theta coin, it hasn't formed a new higher low, but you can see the first V here. It now needs to make a higher low somewhere here. It maybe can be here, or maybe it needs to come a bit lower, but it is making new lows in its market structure. But as long as it defends this area down here, it looks quite good, right? Once again, you have location, you have the break of the downtrend, you're starting to create structure here, but it has a little bit more room to go. And if we just compare it to HEX, which has already created its second V, it's well on its way. TRX Tron, looking quite good, but this has been around for a long time and has failed to break its all-time high in 2018, right? It's pretty much done nothing, just moved sideways for 4 years already. So we've looked at Sand. Am I going the wrong way now? Sand was also a Web3 narrative, right? It's trying to make a new low, or it continues to make new lows. It's trying to create a higher low, but it's continuing to fail. We have location, but this needs to come down a little bit more. HBAR, Phantom simply copied HBAR outright. I don't trust this wick at all, because wicks like to get eaten, so this will probably move all the way down and something like this until it has completely filled that wick, and from there it can create more, start creating market structure. Or if we are fair, let's just be 100% fair, these are technically higher lows that it has created, right? And it's defended that one there. Has it broken downtrend yet? But there's a lot of talk about this coin, so I'm not surprised that it doesn't look that bad. You have a location, you have the break of the downtrend, you're starting to create some market structure on this side, or higher lows. There you go. Solana, yeah, you can just see continues to get slaughtered. You can see my little drawing here, it needs to come down. It hasn't even broken the downtrend yet. VeChain, now this looks quite good. This is one of my brother's favorite coins. It still needs to create its next higher low before we can say anything, but you have your location right. That is the ugliest line ever. There is your location, right? It came all the way down to the 78.6 level. This is actually one coin that has made higher highs against Bitcoin in consecutive cycles. Let's see if it can do it again, but there's definitely a double in this coin, right? Uniswap looks quite powerful, right? When it finally broke its downtrend, came up quite high. But this is your first V, your second V. This one's quite high. I wouldn't mind it if it comes a little bit lower to the golden ratio, perhaps something like this. I mean, of all the coins, honestly, versus BTC Hex does look really, really good. It could be because it is its first cycle. You've got AVAX over here, quite deep, trying to defend its second higher low. Hasn't broken the downtrend yet. XRP, I mean, this has just been on a downtrend forever and been sitting in this range for quite a few years, right? Hasn't even come close to break its all-time highs to the cycle in 2018 or 2017. Near protocol, I mean, we can go on forever on these, and this Filecoin looks pretty good, looks a lot like Hex. This is Phantom. Now they've had a lot of good fundamental events happen. Their main developer, Onricron here, which is quite like a cultish figure in there. It's not like Richard Art and Hex. Now he is the main developer that has returned, and we can see the beautiful higher lows that we have there. This is Monero, just moving sideways for a very long time, right? It has defended its lows, slowly but surely creating higher lows here. Doesn't look too bad. ADA, this looks a lot like X, right? But this is a layer 1 coin. Ethereum obviously looks a lot different, as Ethereum will definitely flip Bitcoin in the next cycle, its market cap. Link looking quite good. Zalika, yeah. BNB just, I mean, I don't know what's going on here. This is, if this isn't unsustainable, I don't know. This makes me worry a little bit. Polkadot. This was created by the guy that created the Solidity programming language. Doesn't look too bad. Matic obviously outperforming quite drastically. It seems like Matic is by far the most competitive layer 1 versus Ethereum, probably after BNB chain. So performing really, really well. And then XMR. This is Monero. XML is Stellar Lumens, sorry. You can just see this is almost ready to break out against BTC, because this, you can just see this massive W here with the higher lows being defended, right? Let's see what you guys are saying. You're saying the audio isn't as clear as normal. Dude, that sucks, because I changed a lot on the audio. I can probably take out one of my filters quickly. I think I'll just delete the expander. Tell me how that sounds, if it's a little bit better. Because I had that compressor there to take out some of the background noise. But if I'm listening to myself now, there isn't really static left. Yeah, just tell me what you guys think. Okay, so Jaggy, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Jaggy and Jerry, new intro, nice. Yeah, I hope you guys like it. I have a BRB as well. And the stream ended one. I need to remember to use that. 6 Slamy 66. Good morning, Hans. I hope you're doing well, Slamy. You got a bit of echo. I'll re-listen to it afterwards to see if I can change things up a little bit. Should I hold the mic closer to my mouth? That's probably going to help a little bit. TW0O, what's up, dude? Thank you for being here. You're always here to support. Martin Warrior. Hi Hans, which crypto looks good versus BTC? So I've covered a few of them already, and obviously Hex looks really well. Monero, although it hasn't really performed in the previous bull run, it does look like it's ready to break out, right? Versus Bitcoin. I don't know why, but Monero is always so slow versus the rest of the market, but you can just see how good this looks back here. And we're forming pretty much that same structure now. If it breaks up here above this level of 9,000 Satoshis per XMR, you've got a nice move to the upside. So yeah, there's your measured move. And how someone would trade this instead of just sitting on this position. They have their long position. They'll enter the trade as soon as it breaks above this level, or you can wait for a retest. The retest is this. Right, I'm just teaching you guys something. Don't go and trade this. Your measured move is all the way to the top, and then you try and get a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So that means you're going to be winning double as much as what you're going to lose. That is that 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio over here. And then obviously you have to close your trade if it closes below this level. But how traders will trade this is they'll wait for the breakout and they'll wait for the retest. So they'll have a limit order at this 9,100 and ride it up all the way. If the trade gets to 50%, they will move their stop loss all the way to break even. So if it comes back against them, they'll get out of this trade risk-free, right? So yeah, there's a little bit of degeneracy for you. So like that, you only have to win like 50% of your trades, right? Because you have a 2-to-1 risk ratio. You're winning twice as much than you're losing. Yeah, so I've covered some of them. HEX looks really good versus BTC as it's got this long base down here that has already defended its lows a few times already. So this is what you're looking for. You're looking for this long sidewards base at the bottom, and then you finally break out. But you can see back here how long it tends. Now this little wick over here, it's making it a little bit confusing. But you get this nice sideways movements, and you can see here you have the low that's been defended once. This was post big payday, right? It made a low and then it defended it twice. 1, 2, 3. And then when it finally broke its large W pattern here, off you go into your bull cycle. And you can see the break of the W, and then your retest as well. You can see that wick came in beautifully. Now let's see if we had that trade up here. Let's do the measured move quickly. Now this isn't very accurate versus the log scale, because these lines aren't really optimized for log scales, but you'll take it all the way to the measured move, and now look at this, and you'll get a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Let's take off the log scale. I hope I can draw it in here. So that's a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So you would have risked it. Is that possible? Let me just plot it on the linear chart. So you put your trade at the break of the W, and then a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. This is below this. By then, I don't know why it's not working out. It's a 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Either way, it didn't work out nicely. Why is it so deep? Oh, we've still got all of this data here. Jeez. Oh, it's in the log scale. Just looks weird. But there, your measured move played out. You could have taken off of this off the table, so you've had a free position to ride it up. Yeah, so Hex I think looks pretty well versus the others, but obviously something like XMR, although this is probably fine, this is still in the location, because firstly the first thing that needs to be right is the trade location, right? Location is the most important. If it's up here, the granny investor, she's not interested. She can't go long up here, right? Although you can probably make money, you want something that you can make a lot of gains with. And then obviously Ethereum, this is, let's see if this is above, I'm pretty sure it's above its reload zone, right? This is called the nosebleed section. You want it in this area down here, and you only got a chance, like in June, you got a little bit of a chance to get in this coin versus Bitcoin. Yeah, so Stellar, Lumens looks quite good, FTM looks quite good, and you can just see the patterns on these things. Filecoin looks alright, but most of them are down a lot, eh? So let's get to your other coins. I see people want us to take a look at Pulse Dogecoin because it has pumped recently. There's lots of people want to look at it. How low do you think X can go? The Wyckoff check is at 1.3 cents, so I think it might be able to go down all the way to that. But obviously I don't hope that doesn't happen. It just depends on how deep down Bitcoin wants to go. If Bitcoin goes to 10k, I would find it hard to believe that X won't go down that low. But if the low is already in Bitcoin, I think the low is in all of the other coins, but I don't have a crystal ball. I just know where value is at, and value is at below the 61.8, right? Below your golden ratio. I mean, this is where value is at, the green box. This is called the nosebleed section. You have technically made a triple top up here. I'm pretty sure if I pull up the indicators, it would be pretty oversold already. Oh my. Right, this is where you want to be taking some profits up here, right? This is dangerous up here, but we've just been consolidating at the top here. Let's put up the line chart. You can see bearish divergences. The price is going higher, yet the indicators are going lower, both of them. Let's pull up the MFI as well. Although this hasn't confirmed yet, you need it to break. Let me just show you guys. Once it breaks down below this level, this divergences is confirmed. Until now it hasn't been confirmed because this can just go higher, but it's starting to look a little bit toppy, right? Let's look at the higher time frames. Let's remove everything. Massive bearish divergence on the weekly. See, price is going higher on the weekly chart, yet the indicator is downwards, right? Let me just show you guys that here. So this, if this plays out, this can this shows a very long downtrend. The stochastic RSI is erect, and it seems like it can go a lot higher, right? Because this can go all the way up here. and then as well divergences on the MFI looks fine. So it's just the RSI that looks a little bit toppy. All I can say, it's dangerous up here. This is not financial advice, right? This can continue to go up because in the longer scheme of things, this is pretty good market structure. You see the W's? You've got these higher lows, and this will eventually play out. These W's will eventually break out, and when it does into the bull run, it will just look like this flat market structure at the bottom. But remember, this will then be your base that needs to be retested in the bear market, right? So wherever this goes in the future, it's going to come down here again and retest these levels. And this is pretty much where HEX is at right now, right? It has created, we can probably look at it now, it doesn't have all of the data. You can see that, right? Pulse Dogecoin is pretty much in this area where HEX is at right now, where HEX was, right? You can see these triple top levels. Either we are here with Pulse Doge, it needs to have a little bit of a retracement and then a breakthrough, a retest of that $9 area, and then your bull run, right? But then the bear market wants to come down to retest these levels. And this is why I said this is your Wyckoff check is here at 1.3 cents, where all of this traffic was. Resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, breakout, retest, and pop off. And then the market wants to come down to retest these levels. And we are, this is the opposite of a W. This is what is called an M. And we have broken below it. But I mean, we're on a full moon, and the full moons tend to be bullish, where we're doing a little bit of astrology. But you know what, what's his name? JP Morgan said that millionaires don't use astrology, but billionaires do. And that's a direct quote. You can Google it. So whatever that means. So the full moons tend to be bullish for price action. And this week, if the inflation doesn't come out higher or as predicted at, let's say it comes out at higher than this forecast, or even higher, if worst case scenario it's higher than it was last week or last CPI announcement, that would be very, very bearish, and you will see the market just crash, right? If it comes down lower than the 7.3%, very bullish for the market. And then the Fed will continue with its 0.5 basis points, etc., etc. So this coming week can be quite bullish. Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance. Remember, when this chart goes down, the altcoins do well. And we've been on a steady uptrend where Bitcoin has been outperforming the altcoins, right? And you can just see how beautifully it made its base in this reload zone. So yeah, let's see what you guys are saying. Martin says, that's what I thought, looks very overboard. Thanks, Hans, I agree. Could you take a look at M87 weekly and daily? Looks good. I have no idea what it is. But we will quickly take a look at this for you. So on the daily, is this a reflection token? You have location, right? It's cheap here. but the timing isn't right yet. We haven't created any market structure yet. You have just simply this new lows that's continually being made. You need this to play out, right? And then you want a higher low, something like that. You can wait for it to break its W up here, or if you want to take the punishment to dollar cost average this down, you know, this can go to zero. I don't know what this is. I do not know any fundamental events. It has like 300k liquidity. Or you can wait for the downtrend to be broken. This is technically what you need to do. We have a location. We don't have the break of the downtrend yet. You want your W this side, because the longer this base is, the more powerful the upside move will be. It's like you need to build a good strong foundation, like your house needs to be built on stone, right, and not on sand. Otherwise you won't have a nice upside. I mean, let's look at the RSI for you. Maybe it's getting a little bit oversold here. You have the makings of bullish divergences, so you might get a little reversal here, and this will only be the first V of your market structure. You need a few of them, right? And the more the merrier. I mean, the weekly won't tell you much, as it's just up and down. It looks like a bump and dump, but either way. So you need to learn risk management. I'm not your financial advisor. Risk management means never investing more than 5% on any which coin, because if that 5% you put into this coin goes to zero, you've only lost 5% of your overall portfolio, right? And you're not wrecked. You can still come back. That is the most important thing about investing, is being able to come back the next cycle, right? And how an investor will handle that is he'll put a small percentage, maybe 1% at the 61.8, another percentage at the 78.6 level, and then another one at the 88.6 level, and then he's got 2% more to put in this coin, and then he can just wait maybe for a break of the W or a 95% downtrend, whatever. You need to figure it out yourself. This weekly RSI has a lot more room to the downside. If we just pull up the RSI on X to give you an idea of something that is consolidated for a long time. This is the daily. Let's see the weekly. You see how low the RSI is? It's at 37, right? If you look at this is still at like 50%, at 48, just below 48, right? So yeah, not yet there, not yet quite there. And this is very bullish for HEX, as the price chart, we can just put on the line chart, and we've talked about this. The price is going lower, yet on the RSI is rising. So this is a divergence in the market structure, right? As the price is going down, the momentum is rising to the other side. So there's lots of strength in this, but the price is still going down. So you could expect a reversal in the near future. Or, I mean, this is the weekly, right? So it's a matter of perspective. Hi, can you look at Happy? Okay, look at all the so if I look at all of these coins, and many of us are X maximalists, we can just use this to learn, right? Proper ways to look at the market, right? So this has quite a lot of data. Is this a new low? So that's 5.99. This is 6. So yeah, this doesn't look bad, right? You've got your market structure, and this low has been defended, so it's technically a valid W. You also have the break of the W, and this is your first signal to tell you that it's time to start looking at this coin. It is down 95%. So you have location, you have market structure, and then on the lower time frames you can then let me just remove some of this, it might get a little bit confusing. We all like cheap prices, right? So you might want to wait for this to come down a little bit, because it's a little bit in the nosebleed section in the area above the W. So I'd wait for the 61.8 at 11.21 or 8.9 and a little bit lower. So how I would handle this is maybe a small percentage at 11, and then a small percentage at 9, and then a small percentage at 7.5, and we've covered that whole risk management thing, right? Do not throw everything into one coin, because you might just get wrecked. And if that coin, if you haven't done your research, you need to find something to store value in. Many people choose Bitcoin, some Ethereum. I personally use Hex because I can hold my own coins, I can earn interest on it, there's no third-party risk, self-custody obviously, the code is encapsulated, so you need to find something that you feel comfortable with, and in my case obviously that's Hex, right? So I think there's no more new coin suggestions, so this has been 49 minutes. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. Remember, play from a position of strength. Your position of strength is down 90 to 80%, right? Self-custody your coins, get a Ledger wallet, or at the least a MetaMask. Yeah, play from a position of strength and don't get wrecked, right? Don't throw everything in one coin and watch it go to zero. It's not worth the risk. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers for now and bye bye. Please click like, subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow, right?